I begged the princes not to let me join the student union. And the princess respected my idea and did not force me to join. After coming out of the student union office, I noticed that my 2 followers suddenly came looking for me. They thought I was threatened by members of the student union and planned to rush into the office to save me. To confirm whether they were honest with me, I asked them to take me to the secret base where they usually gather. By chatting with them, I learned about the stories behind them and the reasons for following me. Based on the information they told me, I secretly decided to tell them about a plan I want to implement in the future. Celicia plans to invite Moan to join the student council, offering him an opportunity to turn over a new leaf and change everyone's perception of him. However, Moan did not want to join the student union. Because of what happened at the coming-of-age ceremony, he left Celicia with unpleasant memories. In addition, he is also very aware that he has many negative evaluations on campus. He doesn't want her future to be affected by him again. He looked at her with pleading eyes and sincerely expressed his true thoughts to her. So, please, I have already stained you with filth once. Don't let my existence affect you anymore and make me feel even more guilty, okay? Celicia was a little surprised to hear what Moan said. She didn't expect Moan to care so much about others' evaluations of her and her life. This is the first time she has heard him say such honest words. Celicia clenched her fists and approached her mouth. She pretended to cough to avoid Moan noticing her emotions. She closed her eyes and said to him, "I see. This is an invitation, not a command. If you don't want to join, let's call it a day." She chose to respect his ideas and not let him forcefully join the student union. Upon hearing Celicia's agreement not to join the student union, Moan breathed a sigh of relief. He stood up from the sofa and bowed politely to Celicia. "Thanks for your understanding. If there's nothing else, I'll go out." Celicia nodded lightly and indicated to him that he could leave the office. Moan opened the office door and bowed to Celicia again before leaving the office. After watching Moan leave the office, Celicia gently placed the teacup on her thigh. Recalling what Moan had said to her just now, she still felt a little surprised. She gently stroked the teacup and whispered, "He was worried about affecting me, so he felt guilty." Moan Campbell, you really have changed. Celicia's indifferent face changed slightly. She showed a meaningful expression. At this moment, her emotions are very complicated. She was unsure whether she was moved by what Moan had said or by his sincere gaze. After leaving the student union office, Moan quickly ran to a place farther away from the office. He supported the wall and extended a hand to loosen his tie, allowing him to breathe fresh air faster. Celicia's aura was so strong that it made him feel uncomfortable in the office. He gasped for breath while whispering, "I finally managed to refuse." When I was alone with Celicia, the oppressive feeling still made me feel too uncomfortable. And she even said she wanted me to join the student union. Based on my understanding of her, Celicia's intention should have been good. But how can I find time to secretly practice magic if I have to be active in the student group every day? Moan looked up at the ceiling and secretly made up his mind. In short, Celicia and Ariel, you are the protagonists, lucky and invincible. I'm just a useless villain with some money at home. For the sake of our respective lives, and to avoid becoming a stepping stone in someone else's journey of growth. It's best to keep my distance from them. Young master. At this moment, Moan suddenly heard someone calling out loudly to him. Then, a burst of hurried footsteps sounded on this floor. He turned his head to look at the other end of the corridor and felt very puzzled. Eh? Bro, are you okay? Eamon and Gru hurriedly ran towards Moan. Their faces all showed nervous expressions, as if they were very worried about Moan's safety. Seeing Eamon and Gru suddenly appear near the student union office, Moan stared at them blankly and asked them, "Why are you here?" Eamon and Gru stopped in front of Moan, worried that something might have happened to Moan. Eamon took a step forward and asked Moan with a concerned tone, "Young master, are you okay? Have the members of the student union treated you well?" Moan felt very strange about Eamon's question. He smiled at them and replied, "I'm okay. Why did you come here?" Eamon crossed his hands in front of his chest and showed a disgusted expression. He explained to Moan, "When school was over, we were planning to find you, but suddenly we heard a broadcast from the student union calling you over." Gru gently patted his chest and continued to explain. "We were afraid that you would suffer losses, so we originally planned to ask others to come together to rescue you. As a result, when those people heard that it was the student union coming to find you, they all lost their courage. So only we came to find you." Upon hearing the reason why Eamon and Gru were looking for him, Moan became even more puzzled. "You rescue me? Why?" He believed that he only went to the student union office once, and would not encounter anything life-threatening. Seeing that Moan seemed unable to remember what had happened in school before, Eamon said to him, "Young master, have you forgotten? The previous student council president, the terrifying and tyrannical second prince, made it a daily routine for students to be lynched and beaten. I heard that many students dropping out and disappearing are related to the student union." Gru looked at Moan with a serious expression and continued speaking. "Even though the current president is Celicia, the student union has always been controlled by the royal family. That's not a good place. If you are caught by them, the consequences would be unimaginable." He was worried that Moan would encounter danger after entering the student union office like previous students. After listening to Eamon and Gru's explanations, Moan felt relieved about their concern for him. However, he also gave them some reminders. "So, you initially planned that, if I was really caught, only you would openly challenge the student union? Have you already thought about the consequences of this behavior?" He believes that if they had really rushed into the student union, as they thought just now to save him, they would also be very likely to be punished. Upon hearing what Moan said, Eamon and Gru awkwardly lowered their heads and couldn't say a word. Seeing how much they valued his safety, Moan closed his eyes and smiled. However, he still remains wary of them. In order to ensure that Moen and Gru are not pretending to treat him sincerely, he needs to further understand them. He silently said in his heart. Although they were all the jerk companions of the original Moan Campbell, they don't seem bad by nature and appear to be quite loyal. For safety reasons, I'll just confirm again. Moan extended his hands and gently pushed the backs of Eamon and Gru, signaling them to turn back. Seeing Moan suddenly ask them to leave here, Eamon felt a little puzzled. Young master? Moan said to them. This is too close to the student union, and not a convenient place to talk. Let's go. Let's go to our secret base. Gru didn't understand what Moan said. Secret base? Upon hearing Gru's doubts about his words, Moan pretended to remain calm and explained to him. The place where a large group of us usually gather together. Isn't there such a place? Eamon thought for a moment, and soon understood what Moan meant. Oh, I see. Let's go. Under the leadership of Eamon, Moan arrived at a teaching building that had not been cleaned up for a long time. This is the abandoned old teaching building of Santa Maria College. The lights in the teaching building have long become old and cannot be turned on normally. Eamon and Gru walked ahead and led Moan to a hidden place in the teaching building. Moan found a clean place to sit down and asked Eamon and Gru to tell their stories to better understand them. After listening to some of Eamon's stories, Moan said to him, Eamon's father and my father are actually comrades in arms. No wonder you keep following me. Eamon raised his hand, scratched his head, and looked aside, feeling a little shy. He continued to speak to Moan. No, to be precise, he is a subordinate, and the Grand Duke is also a benefactor to us. My father's title was fought for by Grand Duke Campbell, and he saved my father's life more than once on the battlefield in the north. When I enrolled, my father reminded me to protect the young master, like I would my own younger brother. Of course, even if he doesn't say it, I will still do it.